I have to be very careful here. No, you're not getting deja vu. I did release this video already, but took it down because there were some issues with the audio. So enjoy this version, which also has a few little extras hidden for you. Finally! Yes, this is the PRS S2 Vela Semi-Hollow in satin finish. It is made in America as part of the S2 range, and in this video I'm going to determine whether the sounds, playability, build quality and value for money match the looks. And if you don't like how it looks, then maybe you'll like how it sounds. So let's plug it in and find out. I'm going to go through the Marshall first. I feel it needs a bit more sort of, what's the word? Gain. Rock. Oh, because of that semi-hollowness, it's already alive. That's a lot brighter and a lot more aggressive than I was expecting. I don't know why I expected this to be a polite guitar. Maybe it will be later on. At the moment, it's right there in your face and everything's blah. Let's have a little look at the different pickup selections. It is a three-way switch, so we've got the bridge both together and then the neck. We also have a push-pull on the tone, so that'll split the bridge pickup. It's a very balanced sound. It is very addictive. I love this Marshall amp. It's one of my favorite amps of all time, but it's set up currently for a Strat, or if you're in the PRS world, a Silver Sky style guitar. And this one's a lot meatier, a hell of a lot meatier than a regular 3 single coil guitar. So I'm going to leave it where it is. It's kind of fuzzy. But I will go over to the Fender Deluxe Reverb soon to get some actual cleans, because I thought that was going to be clean. It ain't clean. Before I do switch to the Fender, let's play around with this, which PRS are calling a Coil Tap, by the way. So here it is in full humbucker mode. In that Marshall fuzzy gain, it's getting kind of, it's a sort of as if Foo Fighters did Motown. That's what it feels like. And that's what it sounds like to my ears. Right, let's switch out to that Fender. This is an extremely playable and well set up guitar. It feels like everything's where I want it to be. The switch is all the way over there, out of the way. The knobs here are close enough but not too close, like they might be on a Strat. And then there's plenty of space here for me to jam around. it does feel very compact. So as a person who is quite big, this is a small guitar for me. The neck is D shape, I would say. We'll look at the specs in a bit, by the way. It feels D, but not too flat, but also it ain't chunky. And tonally, I'm getting sort of Strat meets 335 vibes. And what's odd is that when I was tuning it, I'm so not used to a PRS guitar that doing that felt weird because I was touching the wood whilst tuning it. But I love the fact that the strings are straight over the nut. That really pleases me. However, let's drop the reverb on the amp and see if this thing funks in the middle position and with that coil tap. Not as percussive as I was expecting. There it is, something I was looking for. A lot of attack and some bite, but balanced. And if I drop that tone a bit, maybe? I am one compressor away from being very, very happy. Yeah, that's a great sound. This is going to be weird for you, as I've just come away from a Marshall, but the governor through the Fender should sound pretty decent. We've got a classic rock here, everybody. I have to be very careful here to remember that I'm making a video because I can get lost in that quite easily. That's fun. Change pick for a moment, a bit thicker. There is a lot to like about that. That's on the neck as well. So the neck is not muddy and thick and lacking in clarity. Those are all words that mean muddy. They mean the same thing. The bridge, however... Wow. Let's go over the specs. This is the PRS S2 Vela Semi-Hollow with a single F-hole up here. This is a mahogany body with a mahogany neck. That is a rosewood fretboard. And the finish is satin nitro paint. And I love it. This guitar is so me. The fretboard, of course, has the famous birds on it. This one is a 10-inch radius fretboard with 22 frets and a 25-inch scale length. It's a set neck. There's no trem or anything like that. It's just a, I don't want to say basic, but it is a simple construction. Then when it comes to the electronics, we have a PRS DS01 in the bridge and a PRS narrow field in the neck. And as I've mentioned so far, you can split that or rather tap that coil using the tone knob. There's also a volume knob. And I've got to say, the volume knob and the tone knob both feel extremely smooth. It's beautiful. In fact, I want to do some wahing with it. Both pedals on. I love how the guitar, it feels perfectly intonated, and I know the guitar is not a perfect instrument in terms of where everything should be, but PRS have a reputation of making high-end instruments, and until a while ago I didn't really understand them, in the same way that, like, I put Ibanez and PRS kind of together, in that Fender and Gibson have lots of mojo reputation and history and tradition, and then you've got Ibanez and PRS that come along and, I'm not going to say improve things, but certainly change things with more modern construction and seemingly sometimes better quality control. And there's something about a PRS that I'm now beginning to understand. If you've never played a PRS and you've only heard the rumors in the forums, try and get over that, because this feels phenomenal. Speaking of feel, it's rather slinky, and it comes with PRS classic 10-46 strings, and because of that 25.5-inch scale length, which is between a Fender and a Gibson scale length, it's a really nice balance of those two. What's kind of weird is that the tuners from this side, from my side, look like the same tuners as they have on the SE guitars, and they don't look anything special. But then when you look over there, they look great, and they tune, well, the guitar, beautiful in terms of reliability. Everything tunes, there's no pinging, there's no compensating for wrong design. It's like a Les Paul Jr., but thought through properly. And I've just realized my Les Paul Jr. is there, and I still love that guitar. But this is a more sensible guitar. I need to do some high gain through this, because with that F-hole, I am so curious as to what it sounds like. What have I got on my board? I've got the Revv G3. We're going to plug that in and see what that sounds like. I'm going to go one step further. I'm going to put it in drop D. These are the Revv G3 settings. I'm on the blue channel and almost halfway through the gain, and I'll leave the EQ where it is. Actually, I'm going to drop that gain just a bit. That's why it sounds all weird. Let's change this up a bit. I really feel like I'm back in an emo, like 2000s metal band. It feels good. Just trying not to get demonetized at the end there by adding on some random hammer-on pull-offs. What a great sounding guitar. I could literally go on all day with that. I'm going to crack it open and see what's going on in here because I'm super, super curious, and also means we get to take a little closer look at the build quality. I slowly realised that most things in my videos are turning into red and black. I'm surrounded by my favourite colours. It's a good time. Right. Whew, that was a lot of work. The screws are in really tight. I don't want to wreck the setup by taking the strings out. Let's put a capo on there and just loosen the strings. There we are. Right. Wow, a lot of space in there. I got the feeling it was hollow there, but kind of more of a swimming pool cavity than what I would call semi-hollow. It's got that sort of jazz mastery touch when you touch the pick guard. Obviously there's no conductive paint or anything in here, and I love the fact that you can still see the mahogany there. They haven't sprayed that through, which shows that it's been hand sprayed and all the other sort of mojo-y things we like to associate with guitars. There are barcodes all over the thing, which is great news. And if we take a look at the pick guard, you can see the electronics are also very, very tidy. There's our low profile three-way switch. Moving on to the tone, which will be the coil tap or split, whatever they call it. Is it the... I can't remember what PRS call it. Please let me know in the comments what PRS do with their coil tapping splitting thing. And I'll try and remember that for next time. We've got large pot there with some great quality soldering. This is the braided metal wire going to the pickups with enough wire left there in case you want to do something with it later on at some other point. What does that say? Vela, treble, TCIB, and then is there anything there? Just says Narrowfield there. Overall, that's a very beautifully made guitar, and I think this is what people mean when they say that they want to invest a bit more money in a guitar and come back with something high quality. This is a perfect example of spending around 2,000 notes on something. Let's place this back in because I purposefully left out talking about the bridge, knowing that I was going to get this camera angle at some point. Right, back in there. Now, if you're a fan of the Telecaster, you'll probably recognize this style of bridge, but you'll notice it's not the same as a Tele bridge. We've got two barrels, but each barrel has two screws. And they're angled, meaning that you can change the angle of each barrel, which should mean this is fully intonatable. And if you're wondering where the strings go in, it's just there, look, they slot down in. And again, this is another example of this guitar being vintage-ish, but with modern appointments. I am super into that, and I don't know what it would sound like on a Telecaster. I don't know if the purists will like this, but as a person that likes to have his guitar set up and intonated properly, that I like. I like it a lot. Right, let's measure those pickups. Over on the bridge, we're looking at 7. On the neck, we're looking at 6.9. That is pretty well balanced. So in the middle should be about 3.5. Yep. Then we'll go bridge, split coil, or coil tap, whatever they're calling it. 4.8. So it's not half, which is important. And then splitting or tapping that half. That middle way point is 2.8 and back up to 3.5. So it's not an exact split. It's like a mix. Again, PRS fans, let me know what that's called because I don't know. I hope to know. I am now a PRS fan and I hope to learn things about PRS soon. Let's stick it on the old scales. Right, pop that up there so we can all read it. Set it back to normal units and 2.7. 2.75. I'm very happy with that. 6 ounces. Great. I'm more happy with that than I should be. Oh dear. Right. The PRS S2 Vela Semi-Hollow is simply a beautiful guitar. The sounds, I'm still not sure what they are. It feels like it'd be unfair and call it the perfect studio guitar, although it could get a little bit thinner on the bridge pickup to get the sort of stratty sort of sound. So it doesn't cover everything, but it's like a mini 335. Yeah, if you want like a sort of semi-hollow sound, but you need something that isn't ginormous, then this would be a good choice. It also rocks heavily, and I would love to play this live on stage. Everything inside this, it's like construction-wise pretty perfect. I don't believe it. Right, yeah, that is my summation of the PRS Vela. Did it live up to my expectations? Is it as beautifully built, and does it sound as beautiful as I think it looks? 100% yes. 100%. For me, the only downside of this is that the size makes it look really small. Let me put it on a strap. So this is just a regular... Oh, the strap buttons are phenomenal as well. They're nice big fatties. So the strap shouldn't fall off at all. And there is room for one of those little rubber gummery rings to put on. Here we go. I shouldn't say this, but I feel like that looks really good on me. Oh, darn it. Okay, there are links to this in the video description should you want to buy it. It is worth the extra money. Bye!